This video is going to be a tutorial on how to complete CHIMPS mode on quad. This strategy was developed mostly by Infinity. I made a few minor changes, and I was able to get the black border the other day. This is what the end result looked like. Grandmaster is the star as usual, and let's get into it. So first off, we're going to be running this on Challenge Editor. It's just going to make things easier for everybody. Let's just show you the challenge, CHIMPS default, and 100%. Now it's going to start off with the dart monkey placement. First one here, as close to the bush as you can get them, whilst you can still see a sliver of green on his side there. He stays on strong. Next one on the right, close to the bush, where the top of his hair kind of goes right in the intersection here. And the left one is right about there. So there's not a great landmark there, just the top of his hair in that circle on that side. But again, as close to these bushes as you can get them. So we'll run 6 and 7 like that. Once we get to round 8, we'll put our sub in the water. Now the sub placement is fairly important to help with RNG on round 9. It's right there. Now if you look at his tail, it's kind of right in the center of that flower, and it's down and to the right as far as you can get him. He stays on strong for a while. Now 8 doesn't really have RNG, but 9 does. There's a green that comes out of this right side that needs to be hit either by this dart monkey or by a wraparound dart from the sub. So we'll show it to you on slow here. I believe it's this one right here. It missed, so I lost. And I'll show you that it's just RNG, because I'm not changing anything. If you watch right here, see that dart wrapped around and hit it that time. And we're fine. Fortunately, it's only on round 9, so it's pretty early. And by round 11, we can afford Oben. His placement isn't super important, but you want him to be as close to the water as you can get him. And if you look at this little rock here, his arc is right on the edge of that rock. Kind of fits perfectly. Next, we get longer range on this sub. And we're going to brambles on 14 and 15. And we'll be able to forward advanced intel shortly. Brambles, advanced intel. Now on 15 there's a pink that shoots from the right side that needs to be hit early, or it could just sneak right through. And we'll brambles again here. Now it's top, so we gotta watch this pink, because these are gonna be cleared out. So watch this pink here. It was hit early, so we should be fine. Sometimes it just doesn't get hit and you lose. Beautiful. And we'll get twin guns for 16. Next thing on 18 is a brambles when we're at $630. So just watch your dollar amount. And when it hits 630, use the brambles. Boom. And now the rush happens. It's perfect timing. At this point, we switch this sub to first from 20 on. And we can afford air burst. And probably halfway through 21, we use brambles. So about $300. For 24, we need to get this guy to enhanced eyesight. But if you do it earlier, it gives your sub more range to fire. So he's got it for 24. It looks kind of scary, but he always pops it. At 25 at 1076, we're going to brambles again for these purples. So 1076 brambles. And we can afford triple guns after that. Next thing we're building is the sniper. His placement is kind of important, just to give you maximum efficiency. So if you check this dart monkey here, you see the edge of his circle. It's kind of right in the center of that rock. So that's where we want his boundary to be, kind of right in the center of that rock. Keep him on strong for now. So if you look, these circles are perfectly lined up, so that gives the subs full range of this lane. We are going to brambles 27 once it's off cooldown. 28, we need to buy full metal jacket. Keep him on strong and the sub on first. And now we start our alchemist. He goes directly under the sub. Right there. As close to the water as you can get him. And kind of directly under this cattail. Don't put him to the left because you're going to put a village there. That should be good placement. I don't really use any landmarks. I just kind of put him underneath under the cattail. He's going to get up to acid dip. Next is going to be brambles on 33. I keep him on strong. So you might be thinking we're going to lose to 33 because our only camo is here. But brambles takes care of these two lanes. It can be top or bottom and not be an issue. Brambles. At the end of this run, we can afford Berserker Brew, which we buy. And then we buy our Ninja to give us more coverage. Now you want him to be as close to Oben as you can get him, kind of in the center of these two lanes. So you want pretty much the same distance here and here. At 35, we're going to brambles again. And at 36, a big change I made is getting Acid Pool. Acid Pool kind of makes this round a joke. 36, you had to usually do a lot of microwaving with this sub from last to first. But with Acid Pool, that's not necessary. You can just keep him on first the whole time. I'll run it on slow just to show you. Did I get Acid Pool? I did. No microwaving needed. You will brambles now. That's that. Round 36, not a problem anymore. 37, we're going to brambles again after these leads, and you're going to buy stronger stimulant. So wait for the leads. There's the leads. I'll slow it down. Once they're clear, brambles and get stronger stim. Beautiful. 38 is another brambles as soon as it's up. Same with 39, you can brambles as soon as it's up. And you're going to be able to afford armor-piercing darts. Now you don't need brambles for 40, but we happen to get them in the top lane. It's not necessary. So we're pretty set here. I'm going to brambles on 33. And then we're going to build our villages at that point too. I have lost on 43 before, but it's not very common. Subs usually handle it pretty well. Okay, now we're going to go over a village placement. Now the landmarks I use are the rocks on this shore. So this is kind of your center rock. There's two to the left of it there. There's a tiny rock there. That's going to be the one you want to barely be visible. So if you look right there, that rock is visible. Just like that. And as close to the shore as you can get it. So right there. Then we get two in the bottom. And you're going to want to make sure this guy can fit there, which he can. Oh yeah, he can fit right in there. Beautiful. That's very important. And the next one, kind of the same thing. That's your center rock. And this rock on the right, this oval one here, you want that to be fully visible as well. Or maybe slightly covered on the very end. But again, as close to the water as you can get them. Right there. Two in the bottom. Still double check, make sure you can fit that guy there. And we can. Pretty easily. We're not building him yet. We're just making sure we can fit him. And we can. So that's 43. Next thing we build is we get jungle drums on the left one here. As soon as it's available. Which is now. And on 45, we're going to brambles as soon as the camos come out. Which is pretty soon. Probably right about now. There they are. And we're going to build our second sub. Now this sub, you want it to be in both villages as far to the right as you can get them, because you're going to be sneaking ninjas in there. Right there. And get him upgraded to air burst. And 46, we should get him to triple guns. There we are. 47, we're going to brambles again. As soon as the camos come out, which is right about now. And same thing on 48, we're going to brambles the moment it's off cooldown. And we're saving for armor piercing here. 48, get ready to brambles, because there's more camos coming. Here they come. We should be fine. Get ready for armor pierce. There we are. And you can buy faster throwing now for more uptime. Alright, and now we have enough to build our boomerang. Now you want to make sure he's in range of both of these villages. On my last video I said that, but didn't put him in there. But there's a good spot right there. He's got jungle drums from this village. And we're going to get him I don't have enough now. To more glaives and longer range with red hot. I think we get it this round. Yep. Now for 50, you can brambles, but you don't need to. Next thing we get is camo. And now we don't build anything until 56. You're gonna wait till he's level 11 to build your ninja. So now it becomes a waiting game. If you built your ninja now, he would just steal your buff, and he couldn't reach the lanes, because at level 11 he gives him extra range, so that he can barely reach the lanes. The ninja isn't valuable, really, until he gets to Grandmaster. 55, you can brambles if you want to. It's not really close, but... Alright, 55. After 56, we'll have a level 11 Oben. Boom. So now, we go to our ninja. We want this guy as high as we can get him. So find that sweet spot. So I think right there is the best we're going to get. That's pretty good. And he gets 031, just to get that Arctic wind out there, and a ninja placement. This is pretty important. Make sure he's pretty much equidistant on all four sides. That looks pretty damn good right there. Just eyeball on each side. That looks good. If anything, skew him 1 pixel to the top. So I like it right there. So perfect. He skewed 1 pixel to the top just as I wanted. So get him to 402. And now we put our alchemist down. Now this alchemist placement is very important. You want to sneak him here. You want him to be touching the ninja, but not touching this sub. So right there he's touching the ninja, and there's a space to the right. Perfect. Right there. And you get that alchemist to 400. That's 400. See, at this point he can't reach the lanes, but with alchemist buff he can. Barely. So he's not really useful yet. Now with buff he can reach a little further. So he's not useless at this point, but he's not really useful. And now we're going to build our couple shinobis. This guy here, the reason it was important to put him close to Oben is that so his shinobi buff can reach this ninja. We'll build another. You want to make sure as many of them are in the discount as you can get them. But these 4 are the ones you're going to build first. Let's get our third one down. there. Now for 63, you don't need to use trees or brambles, but you should have them down. I'm just not going to use them to show you that you don't need them. Now this last one goes as high as you can get them, while still getting Oban and the village buff. Right there. I'm gonna move him down an inch actually. There you go. So he hits that. So 63, I'm gonna run it on slow, not use brambles or trees to show you that you don't need it. And you can get Shinobi on the second wave. So just spam that. That's if you don't have trees. Looking good. Now that we have more caltrips down too, it's even easier. Beautiful. So now we wait. We don't do anything until 75. Yeah, that's right. 75. And you can use brambles here just as safety net, but none of these rounds are very difficult. $75 is going to be the first real micro-ring we're doing. So you just run through these levels, using brambles as needed. Just make sure they're up for 75. Probably the most difficult round is 77. But we have a couple different ways we can go about doing that level. Or round, stage, whatever you want to call it. We're getting there, we're on 71. Hmm, 73. Alright, just about there. Oh. So, for 75, it's going to be sub-micro. And we're going to put trees down towards the end of the level. And we're going to use brambles, too. So keep him on first. It's going to be the sub. Trees now. Now the one you want to watch is when this one pops. and it destroys some of the balloons inside it. Switch this sub to last. Once this pops, switch him back to first. So it's going to pop right about now first. There we are. Beautiful. Now 76, you don't even need these trees, but we have them down anyway. But you want to make sure the trees are up before 78. 76 typically isn't an issue. And now 77. The run ender. So, okay, so we'll run it. Typically, I've kept this on strong until this second BFB on the top here breaks 2 stages. So I'll run it for you. So keep this sub on strong the whole time, and you can use brambles. Here they come. We're going to slow it down. Now it's this BFB right here. Just watch it. Stage 0 right now. Stage 1. 2 first. And I think we're good. Yep. Beautiful. Nice. Nice. So that's the most consistent way I found to beat it. Just watch the second BFB. Have this sub on strong until it goes 2 stages. So 78, we need to have trees on the top, which we have already. So I don't know if I should break them or not. I'm going to leave them and just run out on slow. See if there's enough, because we're going to have to replace them for the second wave. Because there's not a lot of room in those trees. So we have them on the bottom. The bottom is not good. It could just cause us to lose. But you can't use them again on 79 because we need to have the money for 80 for him to upgrade. So there's the BFB. We want to have a totem up here or we're going to lose. Alright, let's pray for a totem in the top lane. Place it now in the top. We want to see it right here. We got it in the bottom. We're probably going to lose. Let's see. No, we got it. But you can lose there very easily. Okay, looking good. So don't use trees here. You need to have trees off of cooldown at the start of 80 to afford Balloon or Grandmaster. You can use brambles, however. As you can see, we're very close. 37.8 is what we need. But we have trees here that has money in it. So we're short, but as soon as the round starts, you're going to pop trees, collect the money, and get Grandmaster. And use brambles. Pop the trees, boom. $200 to spare. We should be good. At this point, we're going to start building some more Shinobis. Now, the 80s are pretty easy. I'll wait for a little more income because I want to show you that you have to fit. You don't have to, but ideally you want to fit 5 Shinobis in this frozen water area. I'm just going to place the ninjas there to show you. And again, make sure they're not the closest to this alchemist. Let's see, so I can squeeze one there. There's definitely space above it. Okay, that's pretty much touching. I don't want it there. I can't tell. Alright, that's good. So there's definitely a gap between these two, which is what we want. Number 2, gonna be kind of the same idea. Make sure there is a gap between that alchemist. Jeez. It is pretty precise. Right there. Okay. Next one, you're going to put as far on the top right as you can get them. Right next to the Grand Master. And the next one, again, right next to the Grand Master. As high up as you can sneak them. To leave room for your final one. Right there. So plenty of room. We did great. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get them to Shinobi, which we can't quite afford all of them yet. But the safe number is 16 before round 90. You can go 17, but it's not really necessary. So right now we have 5s. We should have 9. There's 9. I'm gonna build one here. As far as I can sneak them. Right there. Probably not enough yet. This should make 10. So always double check your count. There's 10. We're looking good. This will make 11. Sneak this guy in. Right there. Make sure we're 11. Looks good. I'll sneak this guy in now. We have enough? Barely. It should be 12. Looks good. Now these are all the safe positions. There is an unsafe position here, which sometimes is in range, but not always. I'll build one here. This is a safe position. Boom. Should be 13, which it is. $14. Check it, looks good. This one's right next to the Alchemist. At this point, it's okay to steal his buff. It should be 15, which it is. So we're going to stop at 16 just to be safe. But there's typically 1,000 left over. So there's plenty. If you don't need it, why risk it? So we have 15? Yep. So that should be 16. Okay. So next upgrade we'll get is going to be MIB. And again, we always have these trees here. If we are short, we can pop them. And we should get them at the end of this level. That should be enough for MIB. Beautiful. And now we finish out our 20 shinobis. That's our next step here. So we have 16, we just need 4 more, which we could probably fit right here. This one's kind of tight. Pretty sure it's in though. Just get him as far as you can get him. So what's he at? 16. Should be 17, yep. And 90's our first DDTs, but they get eaten alive. Yeah, it's not even close. Now on the odd numbers, we're going to put down new trees. So 91, we'll put new trees down. Trees. And you get brambles too. So check your numbers, 17, that makes 18. Should be 19. There we go. This will be our last shinobi, and fresh trees for 93. Alright, last one. I'm just gonna sneak here. I'm pretty sure that's in range. Let's double check it. 19. And that should be 20. Beautiful. Alright, for 93, we're going to put fresh trees down. And I'll put a bramblestone too. So fresh trees on 93. Next upgrade we buy is well, you can either start your engineer just for a tiny bit of extra damage, which doesn't matter, or you can just get Sabo. I'm going to suggest Sabo. Just buy Sabo, and you can start your engineer. Just get him in the double buff. We can't afford him till 96 anyway. Alright, so at 95, you're going to Sabo and put fresh trees down when they're ready. Sabo as soon as the DDTs enter the screen. So we'll run this one on slow, or we'll put fresh trees down. Boom, fresh trees. Get ready to Sabo. I believe the first one shows up on the bottom. Wait for it. There they are, Sabo. Now 95 looks scary, but it's not too bad. Because these trees eat up a lot of stuff. It looks scary once the Sabo ends. But have faith in your Grandmaster. He's your workhorse. He crushes the DDTs. Beautiful. Now 96, you're going to use Sabo as soon as it's off cooldown. And fully upgrade your engineer. Which is typically around the same time. So there's Sabo. And our overclock. Alright. So now is when the timing is very important on 97. Again, we're going to put fresh trees down. But in between rounds, we're going to use overclock because we want it to be up at the start of 98. And this ensures that. So overclock between rounds. Start fresh trees, brambles. You can put them on first. We're going to slow it down here because 98 is a scary round as well. Now we have fresh trees right here. Of course we die at 97. Which typically doesn't happen. '97 is usually pretty easy. See, that wasn't even close. But you can lose to 97. Alright. We can start to build our sub now. So, the moment the Grandmaster starts firing, you're going to use overclock. And that's all you're going to do for this level. Do not use Sabo. You need it for 99. So get everything ready. Just watch the Grandmaster. Now, he's firing. Just have faith. Spam your brambles. You got fresh trees out. This looks very overwhelming. But you gotta believe in the Grandmaster. He can do it. He didn't do it. Right now. Again, believe in the Grandmaster. You can actually buy faster throwing there. Have a little bit more uptime on his buff, I suppose. And we did it. Okay, so around 99, we'll get enough for our sub here, which I didn't rebuild, but it's fine. And what we're going to do is overclock and Sabo. Ready? Get overclock ready. Overclock Sabo. Oh, and fresh trees. There's our first strike. And that's it. It should be game over. So now you just have to watch the bad. When it gets to about here, it'll be ready to be exploded. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3. Now these will fall off right about now. And get ready for first strike now. And there you have it. That's how you complete it on Chimps mode. Now the only reason I lost on 97-98 was bad RNG, which can happen. But try it out, get yourself a gold or a black border, and let me know how it worked for you. Again, thanks to Infinity for helping with that strategy.